Hello. So we are going to get right into this. If you saw the first video in this series, then you already know the importance of having an email list. And one of the things I touched on in that video was how me taking a break from my business did not disconnect me from my audience. I was still able to reach out to them even though I didn't have a direct connection to them through my normal way of posting through social media and YouTube and things like that. And that allowed for me to not only be able to continue to nurture my list, but it allowed me to also promote and have sales and different things like that just exclusively with the email list, which allowed for income. That is what business is all about, right? It's about the connection, and it's also about the money that we want to be able to bring in for our businesses. And having something like that is so priceless.
I created something extra special just for this series. Grab the newsletter planning guide to get clear, confident, and consistent with your newsletter for the next 90 days. It's free and it's waiting for you. Grab it with the link in the description. All right, let's get back to the video.
So we're going to talk about how this year I was able to add 1,000+ people to my email list simply off of a tried and true method that I've been doing for years, and I want to share the exact thing with you. If you are interested in growing your list and really taking this to the next level, then you are going to want to make sure you get your notebook out for this one, because we are going to be talking about some very tangible tips and things you can start doing right now. And if you're really ready to take this to the next level, then make sure you check out all of the things down in the description below. I have links to more videos, more free resources to get on my email list, as well as for the next step, you can sign up for my email list building toolkit. And this is what is going to help you and provide you with templates and resources and all of the different things to get you from just having it in your head and an idea to really getting you to take some action on getting this email list happening, which is what we definitely want to happen. So make sure you check out everything below. I will also put a little code for all of my YouTube watchers right now, because you will be able to get some money off on the toolkit as it has been revamped and reconfigured from the last time I launched it. And I know you want to get your hands on it, okay? So make sure you use that code. And now we're going to get into this video. So now let's get into how I was able to add an additional 1,000 people to my email list this year. And as I'm currently filming this right now, we are just freshly in the month of September. So the year is not even over yet, and it has definitely been over 1,000 people. But I want to explain to you this process, because this is something that I have done over and over again over the years in order to really grow my email list fast in a sense, but also just in a way that makes sense. It's intentional. The people on my list, they're there for a reason, and it's not just by chance. So we're going to talk about how you can create a signature series that will then lead people to your email list, and it will also continue to bring you income and sales and connection in the future. Whether you are a coach, if you have a product-based business, if you offer any type of service, whether that be done for you, whether you do courses, anything like that, this is going to apply for anyone, because this is something that we can all do on a very realistic basis. Back when I was wrapping up my pregnancy with my son, I realized that I was coming up on the end of a year and a new start to a year. And one of the things that really built my brand up was talking about how to start a stationery business. It's content that always does well on my channel, and it has for many years. And so I really wanted to kind of kick off the year of 2025 with a bang. I wanted to have something that I knew would do well no matter what. And I feel like that stationery business content always does really well. So I had already decided I wanted to do a series, and I thought this would also be a great time to continue to grow my email list, because I didn't know how everything was going to go with my labor and delivery. I didn't know how postpartum was going to be, but I knew that I wanted to have something that was kind of like an evergreen thing that was happening behind the scenes, even if I wasn't able to show up and really, put in my efforts as much as I wanted to. So this series was something that I did, and I believe it ended up being like a 5 or 6 week series. It was the beginning of the year, and it was specific to anyone that was ready to finally hit the ground running this year to start their business, launch their stationery business, create their handmade or manufactured products that they wanted to be. I did specific videos, and I pulled from the things that I knew people were struggling with, that they may have wanted to know more about. And I wanted to make sure that I leveraged that audience in the best way I possibly could. And so because of that, I created what I call the Stationery Biz Starter Pack. This was my opt-in, y'all, okay? The opt-in is the thing that is going to be the key to getting people on your mailing list. So of course, first things first, you want to be an authority. You want to be an expert in something and be able to provide some value to people. That's gonna come through your content. And the more that you talk about those things, the more consistent you are, the easier it is gonna be for people to type their email in and want to get that from you. So once you figure out what that thing is for yourself, if you're already talking about it, Figure out how you can turn it into a series and think about it in parts. So get your big picture vision of what you want it to be. For me, it was how to start a stationery business. And then think about how long you want your series to be. It might be a 3-part series, it might be a 5-part, it might be a 7-part, and span that over the cross of whatever your regular posting cadence is on your main platform. And again, this can also be done with short form content as well. It doesn't have to be a long form YouTube video, but this is something you want to consider. It can even be a podcast series, right? Like, let's think outside the box. There's a lot of different ways you can do this, but you want to plan it out so that you have kind of almost like a bingeable thing where people will continue to connect with you time and time again. And so there's a lot of pieces that happen with this series. The first thing is the initial idea, breaking it up. And then once you have that, you want to figure out what is going to be the subject matter that fits into these different areas. And you want it to kind of build on one another. So that way, once somebody's done watching the next one, they can go to the next one naturally. And you can even, if you really are good about planning ahead, you can already kind of drop a hint of what they can expect in the next one. And that will keep people engaged and wanting to know more as well. Now, the key here is that if you want people to continue to stay engaged throughout your series, make sure that you are capturing their information. So before I started the series, I kind of put some feelers out there and I told people that I was going to be starting my stationery business series soon. You know, hey, if you were interested in getting started, you're ready to launch, you've been putting it off, maybe you did it at one point and you dropped off, this is going to be the series for you. I had a little link to a form where they could sign up and just be notified when the series started. And it was a very low-lift thing to do, a form, and then it was a quick email just saying like, hey, thanks for your interest. You'll be the first to know about this. And also get your hands on my free stationery starter pack. Every week after that, as I would post a video on the series, they would get an email from me just saying the new video is live and reminding them about that starter pack, because I wanted to kind of separate the people that were interested in the series from the people that took that next necessary step in order to actually get the starter pack, if that makes sense. So I kind of essentially had 2 segments, which is what they call them in Flowdesk. And this is basically the buckets of where people fall in place as they sign up for your mailing list. So when you are thinking about certain things, I mean, there's so many different subjects that we could all talk about. But as you are thinking about it, I want you to be thinking about, okay, what is it that I can create that will go along with my series that people can get on my mailing list? And you want the series to be not only a good subject matter for the audience, but if you can, making it very timely is also going to help a lot as well. So a great example of this would be like, I'm a homeschool parent. If somebody came out with something right around this time of year and it was talking about like homeschool parent holiday guide, I would be all for it, because I'm always trying to find fun things for me and my daughter to do for our homeschool around the holiday time, right? So that could be a good one. If it was back to school time and maybe you cater towards college students, it might be like, okay, this is the college students hack workbook to having the most successful school year yet, right? So whatever it is, you almost want it to feel as good as if they would have paid for it, but you can still leave some things out. And I don't say that in a way to be sneaky, because you do want to offer value. And like, even with my stationery starter pack, people were able to get lots of wins and information within that starter pack. But keep in mind that, you know, I am a business coach, right? So of course, there are going to be extra resources and things you can sign up for in order to really hit the ground running the right way. But I'm going to give you this thing that is so good that you really could have paid for first. And then that will naturally fall you into possibly wanting to sign up to work with me in some way or get a course or something like that. And so when you're thinking about that, keep it in mind, especially if you are in more of like a service-based industry. You'll want to think about, okay, I don't want to necessarily give them my entire course, but I do want to give them a little bit of a piece of the puzzle. Maybe I want to give them the first 3 steps in this guide, and they'll get an upsell to something that is a little bit more advanced or something that will give them the rest of the process. So if you think about it in terms of that with your series, it'll really help you start to kind of figure out what makes the most sense and what's a natural fit for your opt-ins. So comment down below, what are some of the things you could do for a series? What are some opt-in ideas that you have? And when I say opt-in, this could be coming in the form of a challenge. It could be a free training. It could be a workbook or a guide of some sort. It could be like a list of something. People love like a resource list of some sort. You could do something like that. You could also do like an exclusive episode of something that you created or an exclusive video that's only available to people that sign up for something. I mean, really, the sky is the limit with what the opt-in is, but I want us to think beyond just a coupon code, because we really, if you think about it with a coupon code, it's basically saying like, yeah, I'm giving you some money, y'all, but really you're gonna give me some money, right? And we don't necessarily want to start with that. So having this free, valuable opt-in is what is really going to take it from just kind of like, a casual conversation online, like a casual video that you're doing online, to now this is someone that is, at least at the very least, they're interested in what you have to say and they want to know more. They want to take it to the next level. For me, for years, I've always designed all of my workbooks, freebies, and different things in Canva. So this was no different. I made my stationery starter pack right in Canva. And this was a very easy thing to do. I had already a ton of like template designs and things I did in the past, and I was able to copy a lot of the stuff over. So do not reinvent the wheel, especially if you have been in business for a while and maybe an email list just hasn't been the priority for whatever reason. Don't sleep on the things you've already created. Look at what you have. You might be able to pull from some of those things in order to create this sequence that we're building, this funnel that we're going to create. But you want to make an opt-in and, make it very easy to follow. Definitely, if you want, you can use resources like any type of AI resource that you gravitate towards. You can, of course, research online, poll your audience if you really want to get specific about, okay, well, what do I want to include in this thing if you're not sure? And that will really make sure that not only are they getting something that's free, but they're getting it and it's actually helping them, right? We don't want to just kind of advertise something, but it's not really giving people what they are hoping for. So you do want to do that. And then once you have it designed, I turned mine into a PDF. And so I'll kind of have it right here on the screen just so you can see a little bit of what it looked like. But essentially it was just to give people a quick win, but really like help them take it to the next level, give them the steps that were necessary for what they needed to do. And then after that, it's time for you to now create your workflow. So workflow is the word that is typically used in Flowdesk, but all that is it's someone signing up for your opt-in via a form is typically what it is. The form can be in so many different places. It could be through a link that you provide where they get to the page. It could be embedded within something like your website, but they're going to sign up for that form, usually putting in their name and their email, unless you have some other fields you want them to fill out. And then once they hit submit or whatever the button is that you put what you want the button to say, they will get automatically what it is that is promised to them via the email. And with your workflow, you can set it up so not only are they going to get that first email from you, but you can have it set up with automations. So after that, they will continue to get emails from you. Okay, so I want to share a little bit about this series. So I'm actually going to pause it for a second so that we can go in here and look at how I built this out. So this is within the workflow tab of Flowdesk. So as you can see, I named the segment Stationary Biz Starter Pack. The segment, this is the group where everyone was dropped into once they decided that they wanted to get this opt-in. And then from there, they automatically got an email that happened right away. Now within the workflows, you'll see that there's these little buttons between each step, and this allows you to add the email that you want, the amount of time that you want it to take for them to receive it, so the time delay, the condition, so based off of what happens when they do that email, like if they click on something, it might take them a different way within the workflow versus if they don't. And then also just any other actions that might need to be taken. Typically, I'm using email and time delay are my two, but I have occasionally done conditions if needed. For this one, I kept it really simple with just the time delays. And for this one, I kept it really simple. So then from there, they were able to get this, you're launching your stationary business thing. So when you click on it, you can see that I made it really nice and laid out for them. It told them that there was going to be a 4-part video series that went in line with it, as well as they got their free starter pack. They have a little graphic that I had, which is just a layout image that I pulled from the layouts that Flowdesk provides for you. And I made the graphic in Canva. And then this link takes them straight to the PDF that they can download and print out. And yeah, it just kind of gives them what's promised. And then down below, they're able to binge each video within the series. And then there's also a bonus video that I did too. So everything is right within here. And this was something that I had to kind of go in and update over time because my series at one point was a live series. So I kind of did this email. This was the email that was changed at the end. So that they kind of got everything up front at once. But when it was live for the first time and it was going live, people signed up and then they were getting an email from me every week saying, hey, the new video is up. So you can also alter your signature series and the opt-in as you go, because at one point it's going to be live and then it's going to be evergreen. I could have easily turned these each into their own individual emails, and then they would get one from me over the course of about a month's time. So that's just a little bit of a look into it. And then also while we're in here too, I will just go ahead and show that the form that they filled out for this as well. So as you can see, this is the form that they filled out as well right here. And yeah, right now we're over 1,100 people that have signed up. So it definitely, I would say, has been a successful opt-in that I created. And it's a really simple form, not a whole lot to it. I just basically said it's your moment. You're here because you are finally ready to start your stationery business. This is an exciting moment. I told them what they can expect, what they would get. I switched it to 5-part because it ended up being that bonus video, their free starter pack. Join in now. And then they got that email that I just showed you. And this is connected to that same segment. And then after they hit join in, then they would just get a quick thank you for subscribing. But one thing that's nice about this too is if you want, they can get directed to something else. So once they hit the button, you could redirect it to a page of another website or something like that. It might be a video you've created of some sort. You can do really whatever you want to do with that. They also have the option for you to share the form with a friend. So that might be a cool feature you want to add, or you keep it really simple and just pick one of these messages or make your own message so that they get a little bit something, even if it's something as simple as like, hey, check your spam, just to make sure it's not in there. And that is pretty much it. Super simple to do. On this end of things, just to get everything set up. And so as you can see, that was how I had it set up for the workflow. And this is really going to be the game changer. I mean, it's nice to just send one email and it's like, okay, you know, but to be able to continue to send them things, even if it's just over the course of a week's time or 2 weeks time, this is really going to get that consistency muscle working. And it's not a lot of work for you because you've already done all of the heavy work at the beginning. You know, I mean, that initial part of getting everything set up, it is going to take some time. You're going to have to write out those emails. You're going to be gathering up all of your links and graphics and, you know, really getting creative. But once you do the heavy lifting, the rest is very easy because now it's just a matter of the system working for you. And that is really what we want to get to. So the workflow is really kind of like the magic of it all, because that is what is going to continue to keep nurturing your people. Now, after that workflow is over, they can essentially fall in line with the rest of your email list. And this might be where, depending on how you have everything set up, they'll continue to get regular communications from you, whether you send out a weekly newsletter or however you decide to stay in communication with your people. But this is such an important thing. And so then after that, you are going to go live with it. And I always like to promote my opt-ins just like they're a product. So I'm sharing about them just like I would as if I have a planner that's on the scene, or if I'm sharing a new collection, or if I have a new course that I'm launching. It's going to be treated the same way because it holds that much weight to get those people on my email list. So I want to make sure that I'm promoting about it and I'm talking about it regularly. So in every single video of that series, I mentioned my stationery starter pack. The link was always available down in the description. I was also reminding people, you know, hey, invite your friend. If you know anyone else that will be interested in this, let them know as well. So not only were they getting the emails from me every week about the videos that were taking place, but then they were also getting that reminder too, to like, hey, invite someone else so that they can join in on this challenge too. And I mentioned the word evergreen at the beginning of this video, and evergreen essentially just means that it is something that can keep going, and it doesn't really matter what time of the year it is. It's going to be relevant for someone at any time. And I can tell you that even though this was a beginning of the year, kind of January, February series, here we are in late summer, almost fall, and people are still signing up for the stationery starter pack even now. And so this is really the process of what I have done over the years with a lot of different things like this. Even if it was just one video, maybe it wasn't a whole series, I turned that opt-in and made it something that people absolutely needed. And then people were able to continue to sign up even beyond when I created that piece of content. This rings true even for things I've done even years ago. I have people still signing up for some of my resources that are even 3 or 4 years old. So this is truly the way. This is the key. This is the secret sauce to building up your email list. And you don't have to have a ton of these. You don't have to be like me and have like 20,000, which it feels like. You can just have a couple, maybe 1 to 3 really good opt-ins, and you can kind of rotate them out when you talk about them. And whether it's through a series, whether it's just through your regular content, whether it's, you popping up on stories, like a face to cam moment, just kind of saying like, hey, have you heard about my XYZ opt-in, or whatever the case is. And this is going to be the way to grow your mailing list. You have to promote it just like you would a product, because it is that important. And then honestly, just as a wrap up, what was really great about this was all of the people that had signed up at the point from probably January until like June. I took that list of people and then I reached out to them and I did a re-engagement series with them over the summer. And what this allowed me to do was kind of re-warm up that audience, especially the people that had signed up back in January. With anything, we sign up for something, we get excited about it, and then we tend to fall off. So I wanted to re-engage some of those people, get some questions answered, like how's everything going? Were you able to get started on that? And then I decided to send them a link to an exclusive discounted rate for them to do a one-on-one call with me if they were ready to really get some of their questions answered, if they were feeling stuck on something. And this allowed me to have a little bit of income coming in while I was on my break from my business. So this is an example of how you have a full circle of where it's like, yes, you're giving something for free and you're offering it, but it can come back around to where you're able to turn that into an opportunity for you to then use it as a strategy for income for your business. And essentially when I started this, that wasn't really what I went into it with the intention of doing. I wasn't like, okay, yeah, and then over the summer I'm going to do this. But it just was a natural fit. It made sense. And I really did genuinely want to know, like, hey, did you like the starter pack? How are things going? And if you do want some extra support and some help, I'm here, right? And so it was just a win-win all around. And this is the kind of effortlessness that you can have as well if you follow these steps. Okay, so that is pretty much what I wanted to talk about in this video today. Again, it is just so important for us to take some time to really build an email list. I don't care what anybody says, as all of the different tools and trends and things happen, an email list continues to remain the thing, okay? Like no matter what, it's always going to be there. And that is why I think it is so important for us as business owners, no matter what type you have. It's such a needed thing. And like I said in one of my previous videos, it's a golden list, because this is really what is going to set you apart, right? It's what you're going to be able to point yourself towards when you need to just kind of figure out different things. I poll my email list all of the time. I'm constantly connecting with them, sharing different things with them. And it's just such a great space to have, a safe space to have, that is just outside of just some of the just normal things, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful for you. In the next video, we are going to be doing a deep dive into Flowdesk, and I cannot wait. We're going to be talking all about some of their newer features. We're going to dive into how to really understand the analytics, and I really would like to also give you an opportunity to just check out what it is to just get an email built out, all of the different bells and whistles that you have, from like adding countdowns and beautiful fonts and all your logos and your Instagram profile, and so many different integrations that you can do to really make Flowdesk work for you in the way that you can. Because as I shared, their unlimited plan is going away, y'all. So this is the time to get in on Flowdesk, and my link down in the description will get you 50% off of your first year if you are interested. So make sure you check it out down below. This was a great video. I had so much fun talking about this, and I really hope that you'll take this, you'll run with it, and you will surpass my 1,000 people, okay? Get your 10,000 people on your list, because that is what this is all about. Again, if you made it this far in the video, I want you to comment down below. I'm ready to grow, and I will see you in the next one.